In this video, I'm going to be using flashing lights. So if flashing lights is something that affects you, this is probably not the video you want to watch. Otherwise, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. I spent about 4 seasons working at my local NFL stadium. It comes a little bit over 3 years with the way that it turned out. But during the time that I was there, during one of those years, the team won the Super Bowl. And I can tell you, people were insane. It was like the first time that this team had ever won the Super Bowl. And, I mean, my city has a not so great reputation when it comes to fans. So, as you can imagine, chaos was had. But we were very proud of our team for making the Super Bowl. Or, like, making the playoffs and then eventually getting to the Super Bowl. And I ended up working some of the playoff games, both that year and the year afterwards, where I made it to the playoffs, but not all the way to the Super Bowl. And when we left those games, they gave us these boom whackers. I guess that's what it's called. Although these aren't necessarily like the noise boom whackers so much as they are the light up ones. Like you can see on the bottom, there are these like things that light up. So you can like spread it around. And I mean, they're long round poles. You see where this is going. I'm going to try to knit with them. But we're going to try to knit in the dark. Because we can see if these boom whackers provide enough light for me to actually knit. We'll find out. Anyway, I'm going to change the lighting in here for a moment, and then I'll get back to you. Sound good? I hope so. I don't know why I'm waiting for a response. It's not like I'll hear the response you guys give me. All right, it is now dark. Let's try to turn this bad boy on. Oh, this was on. Can I press the function button? There we go. All right. And now you see why I gave the light warning at the beginning of the video. And then let's get this one a little bit less. Yeah. There we go. This was the one they gave the year they won the Super Bowl before they realized that like they just got a generic one. And then this was the one they gave the year after, when they realized they could make it more team-centric. Alright. Like I'm at a rave. Ooh. Despite the fact you would almost never find me at a rave, not because of the lights, but because of the noise level. As someone with an auditory processing disorder, I was never a big fan of loud sounds. It's actually amazing that I was able to work at a stadium at all. Alright. Let's cast on some stitches here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Oh yeah, because it's probably going to come up. You probably already figured that out, right? I said I've been from Philly enough times. That way I don't have to worry about hiding it too much. Oh. Let's knit this row so I don't have to worry about that. All right. Now, you may be wondering, like, do they actually sell, like, light-up knitting needles and crochet hooks? And the answer is yes, they do. Because I bought them both. I still have my light-up crochet hooks somewhere. Although I don't really use it too much for that purpose. Oh! It turned off on me. Why? Did it just die? There you go. Or maybe I just pressed the wrong button. Anyway, this thing's like 4 years old, so it wouldn't be too surprising to me if it died, honestly. But I bought both light up crochet hooks and knitting needles, and the knitting needles are broken now, the crochet hook is not. Because the crochet hook, I used like a proper crochet hook, but the knitting needles, I took to Boy Scout camp, and then I proceeded to use it like a lightsaber, and you can imagine that did not go well. All right. It's a good thing that the styrofoam is white here. Because it makes it that much easier to spot the yarn over it. Like, I feel like if it was any darker, it'd be harder to tell. Yeah, I remember like walking home from work at the end of like the big playoff game that got them into the Super Bowl. People were excited. And I remember like at the end of one of these games, like at the end of the game, I saw someone walking with like an open firework just down the sidewalk, and it's like, where did they get that? It's like fireworks were not like allowed in the stadium. Like there were metal detectors and whatnot. They must have, like, did they just buy that off of somebody? Because like they're still walking to their car. Yeah, emotions were high that day. Very, very high. I remember like people were like greasing, like the police was greasing light poles so people wouldn't climb up, but people were climbing up the light poles anyway. It was great. Oh, turned off that one by accident. There we go. You may also be wondering, since I was working for the team during the Super Bowl, do I have a Super Bowl ring? The answer to that is no, but I did have the opportunity to buy one. See, at the time, it was the only job I had. I was only making about $1,000 a year at the time. And I had the option to buy the Super Bowl ring. They weren't just giving it out, like, as an employee. I had to buy it, and it cost $750. I did support the team, but I did not support the team that much. For me, working for the stadium was just a job. It wasn't necessarily my ongoing passion. So, it's okay. I have more than enough team gear to last me a lifetime. And ultimately, I ended up using some of that money to, like, I think I used some of that money to go on a trip, which was something I enjoyed much more. I can't tell if this is one or two. I think this is 2 stitches. Let's find out. 3, 6, 8. Yeah, that is 2 stitches. There we go. I think it is time to turn on the light and see what a mess this actually is. Oh, especially since that just died on me again. That's what I get for keeping something relatively cheap for 4 years. Anyway, be back in a moment. Alright. So, this is the mess that came out. Probably a bit too loose, but then again, I used a pretty thin yarn. I probably should have used thicker yarn for this. But I had no problem knitting because, I mean, even though it was in the dark, I could still see exactly what I was doing. It was because the light just happened to be concentrated in my fingers instead of being directed towards me. And it worked well enough. I mean, the yarn wasn't catching on the styrofoam. Like, it was smooth enough, and I was concerned about maybe, like, the styrofoam, like, getting destroyed. You can see there's still, like, a divot from... It's probably from the box where I was keeping it from in, actually. But, yeah, it didn't come apart. Especially since I've often used, like, styrofoam in the past where it just, like, crumbles. Yeah, like, I think if I were to do this again, thicker yarn. But other than that, it turned out well enough. Anyway, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.